hell are you, white woman, to tell me to get control of myself?
Where Billy at?
White.
That really is Billy. White.
They should rename this movie Billy's Rage.
That's how Billy has sex.
White. Hats, backpacks, phone covers, beanies. Oh, and a gift card to give the one that you in. Remember to subscribe here, keep the shows going, and do that in many ways, including Amazon pay button, which your Amazon account, username, password, put it in there. Ooh, toasted goodness all in your ass. Danielle is confused.
With what?
Danielle, I told her, I said the Klan is now accepting applications from black people.
Okay.
Affirmative action has finally kicked in all the way to the Ku Klux Klan. There it is right there.
These damn millennials are crazy out here.
Yeah, I know, man. Everything has to be equal opportunity now, even racism. And Spike Lee was the one bringing it in. Spike Lee has ushered the new era of the Blackkklansman. At least with this
Spike
movie.
Lee, the original angry black man.
The original angry black man. You know, still trying to get us our 40 acres and a mule out there. And not going to stop making movies until we do. So now we got this new Spike Lee joint, in which it's a period piece where it's not, I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not black people joining the Klan. It's actually about stopping the Klan from making an attack by going on the inside. Now, as crazy as some of Spike Lee movies are, it's not about a guy going in whiteface infiltrating the Klan. It's not that. It's actually a guy who is black going into the police department in the 70s and running an operation where he's sending not a white person, but a Jew to go in there and get all the information he can about the KKK before this attack goes down. Yep, that sounds like some crazy shit Spike Lee would do.
Oh, yeah.
See it to believe it. Well, here it is right here, the first trailer. And it is crazy. The first trailer for Blackkklansman, and that is with 3 Ks. Blackkklansman.
We're on a roll, baby.
If I would have known this was a Klan meeting, I wouldn't have taken this mother.
I know, crazy. And I got to stop and say something. We're going to have to dip Carlos in chocolate and make him an honorary black man. Carlos want to be black so bad the whole time. Carlos, like the brothers in the room, they just staring in disbelief. What the fuck? And Carlos back there like, yeah. Get him, Spike. Get him.
You know he's got to dance. He's Puerto Rican.
What's that?
You know he's dancing. He's Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah. Always. Yeah, man. We're going to have to, I'm going to get you your card, man. You're going to be honorary before you get out of here.
Yeah, make sure to put in your application real quick.
Yeah. Hey, if the Klan is letting black people in, we can let Puerto Ricans in, man. Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
We'll expedite your card.
Yeah. Get it quicker than a library card, man. But you know what? Yes, it's crazy. Yes, this looked like and how appropriate, too. Mm-hmm. I mean, for the times. We just talked about how you can't do anything. Me looking at the camera right now, talking to you, some white person's probably calling the cops as we speak. And they'll wait for 2 hours for them to get here. Okay, you just wait for the show to be over. I'll get within a minute. But, and Spike Lee does a lot of crazy shit. And that's the thing about it. Spike Lee might be crazy. He does a lot of crazy things. But when the shit goes down and you need someone to get up in people's faces, he's usually the dude that you want. He's your man for that. Shit, he look like he's about to yell at somebody right now. Yeah. Take the goddamn picture. Colonizer. The great thing about Spike Lee, whether you like him or not, is that he's very unpredictable with his stuff. You ever watch a Spike Lee movie, baby? She's like, I'm living one right now.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Which one have you seen?
I don't know.
You a goddamn lie. You ain't seen
I don't know his
Give her a couple of ideas of movies that Spike Lee is.
Malcolm X, Do the Right Thing, He Got Game.
I watched the
Sweet Blood of Jesus.
The first one you said, the what? X.
Malcolm X?
Malcolm X. Yeah.
She said, what Project X?
The X-Men?
I watched X-Men too. Malcolm X, yes, I watched that one.
Yeah, Malcolm X-Men, yes.
I saw a Spike Lee movie, Project X. It's funny, there was no black people in it at all. But
But this one looks fun.
No, and that's the thing about it. Spike Lee is unpredictable. You don't know what he's doing. What I love about this trailer is that they showed this brother up in here looking all like Black Dynamite and everything, walking up proud of his afro.
70s.
He's got that 70s blaxploitation music playing right there. And the brother talks just as white as can be. I mean, he's so white. Like, let me see it right here. The dude is so white. He puts extra W's in the word.
White America. We need a white officer.
White.
Yeah, not white, but white. He stretches that white out as much as he can. White. But here's the funny thing about that, man. I looked at who this dude is.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
And now, Danielle, do you know who this is?
The white boy?
No, who did I just get through talking about? The black dude.
Oh, the actor? No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, you about to get horny as hell right now.
Why?
This dude right here.
Why?
Why? Oh, I can't wait. This dude is John David Washington. Emphasis on the Washington. That's Danielle Washington. That's Denzel Washington's son.
Well, he sounds just like him.
If you listen to it,
he sounds just like him.
Yeah, man. You know what? I like. First of all, I like the way Denzel Washington's like, no, that ain't my son. I don't know who that is. My son played football. He's even on that show. I forgot it was a show with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on HBO.
Ballers.
What's that?
Ballers.
Oh yeah, man. He's and I never saw the show, but looking at this, I was like, man, this kid has more range than I thought. And I didn't even hear his voice sound like his dad until I made the connection. I went back and watched the trailer. And I was like, he really does sound like his father, man.
Like,
and that's, you know what? And this seems crazy, like I say, for Spike Lee, but this is actually taken from a crazy movie from the '60s. It's a remake from a 1966 film, and I even reviewed this movie. It's a blaxploitation film that I talked about before I even knew that this movie was being remade by Spike Lee, and it's called the same name, The Blackkklansman. And the funny thing about it is that it's about a black dude that infiltrates the Klan because he can pass as white. So pretty much what you have here is a lead actor who is white, who is in the lightest blackface possible right now. And in the movie, seriously, it's like even Spike Lee looked at this and said, man, I can't go this far. It's about this guy who joins the Klan after he finds out that his daughter was killed in a church burning. And for a moment, he just loses it on all on all white people, including his white girlfriend.
The Ku Klux Klan. Damn them all to hell! Who the hell are you, white woman, to tell me to get control of myself?
Where Billy at?
White!
That really is Billy. White! White!
They should rename this movie Billy's Rage.
That's how Billy has sex.
White! Not white enough! White! But you know, you know what? I love this movie, man. I watch it. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. I love the film because I love that they try to pass this white dude off as black. And he just looks like a white dude in a jazz band.
That crazy half goatee thing he got on his chin.
What they called the soul patch back then.
Like a caterpillar on his chin. What's that?
He looks confused. Like, what the fuck? Really? Do you think they really think I'm black? Nah. White. And this has some great talent behind it. Now, it has some great talent behind the scenes. Spike Lee, like I said, say what you will about Spike Lee, but the guy's sort of a visionary. We're talking about that in a little bit. But also Jordan Peele, who's producing. But the thing with Spike Lee movies, besides having interesting premises and being bold in what they do, no matter how crazy they might be, his casting is always great. Yeah. Spike Lee is a guy who was able, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people to this day want to work with Spike Lee. Spike Lee was such a legend at his time when he came out and had such an original voice. He can get anybody in Hollywood to work with him, even at his lowest point. The cast that we have, like I love Adam Driver. I love Adam Driver.
Love him.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why so, Danielle?
Well, I just think he's got a lot of range, and I just really loved him in Girls, that HBO series, and I just look forward to everything that he has coming up and everything that he's done in the past. I really enjoyed. I think he's a brilliant actor.
No,
He's got a look that really can go any route.
It's a look that's very. First of all, the guy, you're right. He's an amazing talent. This guy's one of my favorite actors, and he has a look. You're right about that. And he has a look that does not say white at all. I don't know how he's going to infiltrate.
He's got a look that can be the bad boy. It could be the romantic one. It could be somebody in charge, somebody in poverty. It really can pull it off.
Or it can be the Jew.
Yeah.
It's like, that's one of the things with this, like, man, there's some real suspension of disbelief here, because I cannot see him walking up to the Klan and them like, yeah, he's white, let him in. No, I don't want to sound bad, but he looks straight up Jewish. Am I lying?
Yeah, he could almost pass as Hispanic as well. He's got that racially indifferent type of thing going on.
Really, you don't think so? Jewish. That's what I'm thinking, man. He looks. A lot of people gonna take this the wrong way. Gonna be, oh, his nose. Yeah, kind of. I don't want.
Call a spade a spade.
Yeah, call a nose a nose. I mean, yeah, it's like he looks like a Jewish guy. But hey, you know what? The guy's such a great actor that whatever he does, I'm sure it's gonna convince me that he does it well.
I think he's gonna have a long, healthy career.
What do you think about Topher Grace?
I don't know who that is.
He's a guy. Now, see, that's funny because he's that guy from That 70s Show. Yeah, and I think that's interesting casting with him. I haven't seen this guy do anything in a long time. And he plays David Duke, that politician who was actually a member of the Klan. I'm really interested to see what he can do because we haven't seen this guy do anything good in a long time. Now, here's the thing, Oz, that I want to show you. The sister in this trailer, man, were you able to make out who she is?
Oh yeah, she's from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I didn't know that, man. I thought it was Zoe Kravitz and everything. Laura Harrier is her name. Yeah, man. She was Spider-Man's prom date and love interest in the movie.
Fun fact: when you guys were in New York and we were walking these evil streets, we actually passed by her. Myself, Corey Goodwin, and I think Will and Ray and everybody. Like, that's a girl from Spider-Man. I said, calm down now. Don't rush her.
Will was like, hey, baby. Yeah, man. Something to Spike Lee. Spike Lee gets so much respect. Spike Lee can't always get the budget that he wants now. Spike Lee, some people even say that he's not even the filmmaker that he used to be. And some people will say he is. It's just that, and this is what I agree with some people on. Spike Lee, sometimes he can get lost in his own creativity in a way, and like get lost in Spike Lee land, like Chiraq, man. Chiraq is a movie that was I saw it in a theater, but I know it was an Amazon film too, and a lot of people watched it there. And either you were with it or you weren't, because I can understand how for some people, the message behind the movie that he's trying to give can get a little muddled. Because his movies, he says that they don't have to be one thing, and I can do a lot of things in one film, or I'm going to try to bring two different kind of genres in, or maybe a musical with a message film. And I think sometimes these movies get lost in his extreme creativity. And then I look at something like this and I say, well, maybe I understand that point of view, but I think it's bold, which is why a lot of people think like he might not be the director he is. Some people at Cannes are saying right now that, something? Oh, that's another thing. I looked at this, and he's still doing those Spike Lee things. Like
that dolly shot. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right. No.
That's his trademark signature, that thing. He does that in every movie.
He put them peoples on some rollerblades or some skates and drag them down the hallway. It's man, it's that was something I always thought like, okay, that was
weird.
That you know what I'm saying? That is something that always puts me on guard with the Spike Lee movie. When I see him, I'm like, all right, man, you have your trademark things, but sometimes it gets overplayed a little bit.
Yeah, especially those type of things. But you're absolutely right. It gets to a point where I think he was drinking his own Kool-Aid when it came to people like really praising what he's done and the messages behind the movies that he's made, to a point where he kind of lost himself in what he was doing. And I like the fact that it seems as though he's getting a little more grounded, because that last movie that he did, it was Chiraq. And was it the Sweet Blood of Jesus was first? Then it was?
Yeah, the vampire movie that he tried to
do. A wannabe vampire flick, and then there was the Chiraq. So, I mean, those movies seem very specific type of thing. It didn't leave room for wonder or type of, okay, I think I might want to see this. This one seems a little more mainstream. I like the fact that he couldn't get old Denzel. He's too old, so he got young Denzel.
Yeah, he sure did. Because Denzel used to be his go-to guy, man.
Yeah, because Denzel was always his go-to guy, so it's cool to kind of see young Denzel. What's his name? David.
David Washington.
Yeah, it was nice
John
to see
David
him,
Washington.
taking up the mantle for his dad, so he's just gonna keep on going for it. And like the black exploitation feel they got to it, it looks like it's gonna be some sort of like a dark comedy type thing, but still has his overall message. So you know, it looks cool. I don't know if I'm gonna run out and see it, but it looks cool.
I think it's gonna be one of those movies that a lot of people are gonna not run out and see just based of like what the movie's about. But I think once people start seeing it, it's gonna blow people away as far as the writing and the humor and the acting. I think it's going to do I think it's going to have the similar effect as Get Out did. How people were like, this isn't going to be that great. You know, it's Get Out. But then after people saw it, they were like, oh my God, that was so good. You got to see it. I think that is exactly what this is going to be. And I think it's going to have the same effect as Get Out, if not more strong.
You know what? The only thing, I'm not trying to contradict you. The only thing that I think that this will not make it as strong as Get Out, because the black message is too strong in this. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but Get Out made a horror movie that was accessible to different demographics of audiences. This is a very straight up pro black message that is out there. It's not hidden behind a genre, not behind sci-fi, not behind horror. It is,
I hear what you're saying
drama,
on that.
A comedy.
Where, I could see where you're saying on that, where it's a little in your face. But I think that the writing and the acting and the humor will make people a little more comfortable with it.
You know, something to your credit, though, is that for those who were doubting Spike Lee with this, now you got to keep in mind, this is a festival. Everybody, we have those things called festival goggles where everybody's on a high by being at this big prestigious thing, and they get into places where you don't, and they hang with stars. That makes movies a whole lot better for some folks. And we're at Cannes, they're saying that this is a big Spike Lee comeback. This is Variety that says a major comeback for Spike Lee. This incredible true story gives the outspoken director to focus his frustration in a constructive way. And you know something, Danielle?
I think it's going to do really well. I think it's going to win awards, and I think it's going to be a movie that we talk about for a while.
I hope so, because
we'll
it feels very timely.
Over and over and over. I bet you.
Yeah, look, my hopes are there with you on that. You know something, baby? You being from Turkey, and we've discussed race relations before, just between us. You remember the time you called me the N-word because you were mad? And
what?
You did not.
Make up stuff.
No, I know you did not. I'm joking. She did not. But, we've talked about things. You said, wow, I didn't really see that side of it because I didn't know. How does something like this affect you?
Actually, when I was looking at this trailer, I was thinking, like, if I watch this, I may get some idea about that era, like the 70s, and how the Ku Klux Klan stuff, plus the Black Power stuff. People are coming together and trying to this stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I should go watch it, and maybe I might learn some stuff from it.
Yeah. That's great because regardless of what Spike Lee is doing with his films, he really does want to educate. I mean, he's been called a militant. He's been called racist, but Spike Lee really. With his movies, maybe it's not in the way that people want it to be delivered, but he really is trying to give a message of education out there about relationships between people from different backgrounds, especially the black experience. So, for somebody like you saying that might hit that mark right there.
Yeah, I was curious to know if it was a true story or not, but it seems though based on a true story, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. I did not know that until actually read that
know
again. But yeah, man, this is coming out. Only thing August. You know what? I will say this: if this was it's August 10th when this is coming out, it just has a great art direction too to it.
I think you're gonna dig this. I think you're gonna really love it.
I like she's talking that 70s lingo there. I think you're gonna dig.
I think it's gonna be groovy, man.
Yeah. Well, no, she ain't Sammy Davis Jr. This is groovy, cat. You're gonna dig this, baby.
And here,
this movie is giving me the Jackie Brown vibes, and you like Jackie Brown.
I love Jackie Brown, man. They're using that shaft font. So yeah, August 10th. August 10th is usually a month now where they're saying that's a throwaway month for movies, but that's considered to be for like larger films now. We're talking about blockbusters and big special effects movies. For a smaller film, it might be better because now that you got all the clutter of those big box office movies out the way, you leave a little more room for something a little different and something smaller and something more of a drama like this. Yeah. So yeah.
And this movie is whatever movie is out. This is the what they call that, the anti of it. Oh, what is it called? I forgot.
Anti-white.
Oh, the counter programming to whatever's in the theater.
Yeah.
So, whatever's out, this will be the opposite of that. So, it's going to have its own lane for sure.
Very much so. So looking forward to it.
And I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think Denzel Washington's son is going to be your new favorite Denzel Washington kind of actor?
Don't you ever ask me no question like that. There is no replacing Denzel Washington.
But it's getting older now. You need a young blood.
He likes them old, don't you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, Mustafa and Simba. I'm just saying.
I take them both.
Yeah, at the same time.
At the same time.
Okay, now we get a little weird. All right. I was just joking.
I want to fuck you and your daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we get the bestiality. What's going on?